Everybody, welcome back. I'm Yumble, and today we're going to explore building a weaveless Cloverleaf Interchange. The Cloverleaf Interchange, many of you are probably familiar with it from driving on it or seeing it in-game. The one limiting factor about this otherwise free-flowing interchange is the weave. The weave is when two cars need to essentially change places to enter and exit the highway. Today, I want to explore eliminating the weave within the Cloverleaf Interchange. I've spent the last few days brainstorming a solution to this, and today I'd like to show you my design and teach you how to build it. Everyone, thank you for being here. I'm Yumble. Let's build the weaveless Cloverleaf. Removing the weave from the Cloverleaf, I can scarcely think of a nobler pursuit or a better way to spend my afternoon. Here is our perpendicular overpass. Right now we want to put a highway interchange here that will allow traffic to turn left, right, and also go straight through. I'm going to start by reducing the highway down to 2 lanes for most of it, and also deleting the extra bits of overpass. I'm going to leave the centerpieces there as a piece to measure where the loops need to go. But like I said, we're going to use these mass transit roads, reduce all these down to 2 lanes. It'll allow us to make a slightly smaller interchange, and this thing is quite big, so any space we can buy back is a is a gift. So we're going to be starting with a 7-unit long road right in the corner between these 2 roads. I'm going to turn off node snapping and use road guidelines. And this is to start the measurements. 7 is a magical number because it's the first length where a curved road, a 90-degree 7x7 curved radius turn, will have a node right in the middle that gives us a cool 45-degree angle that's going to come in handy later. But for now, I'm just going to make this 7x7 loop using the curved road tool the whole way around. Let's go back to ground, and let's complete the loop. Great, so this will come in handy later, but what it gives us now is a measuring point to begin this shape. This interchange is just the same shape repeated 4 times. So let's start the beginning of this. If you can do this once, you can do it 4 times, you can definitely make this interchange. With road guidelines turned on, following the circle that we just made, we're going to make the opposing highway connection. So that road will be the one for traffic to exit the highway, rather to change highways. And we can use the freeform road tool off the end of that one, using the guides of our circle once again. And this is actually going to break off in both directions, so it's automatically going to make a nice 9-unit radius curve. We can snap to it. And then we'll use curved road tool to also break off to the right at a 7x7 radius curve. The reason the left side is 9x9 is because it's following this inner circle that we made. The reason the right side is 7x7 is because we're leaving room for the highway to come through there. This will ultimately reconnect to that highway. So now this quadrant is essentially done, but I want to see where this road is going to connect on the other side. So we're going to make the same sort of loop that we did initially, though in a different direction. I'm going to turn off node snapping, and using our road guidelines in the opposing, in the corner adjacent, I would call it, we're going to do the same thing, though at a different angle. 7 units over, and then 7 units up, 7x7 with the curved road tool. So to get the point that this road is going to cross to, I'm actually going to make a circle backwards, somewhat unintuitively. Let me show you. I'm going to make this 7x7 curve going the opposite direction. And remember how I said that 7x7 makes this node in the middle? We're actually going to use that node on this new segment, as well as deleting half of that 9x9 curve. And what we're left with is this great 45-degree angle. Let me turn this road the right way. For now, you can actually take this road and just connect it, and it's very close to 180. It's not exact, but it's very close. 176.9 is within spec for me. And that looks great. So this is the beginning of that shape that I was talking about. We're Almost done with the first iteration of it. Now we can complete the rest of this upper curve. So I'm going to do the rest of our 7x7 loop, and we're also going to go 7x7 up to 8 units high. Excuse me, 8 meters high, not 8 units high. Wow. 8 meters high is fine. That just happens to be a nice height for getting over the highway. A lot of people say 8 meters sounds really high, but if you look at the width of that overpass, 8 meters is barely cutting it. So measure carefully. This one is going to connect 7 units over. So let's see. Just about there. Is this 7 units? I believe it is. So now we can connect with the freeform road tool to this highway. One way to get the measurement for connections, I'll be doing this a lot later, but just to share with you my thoughts. You've got this road that you want to connect. Go 7 units over, and then go up at a 90-degree angle to get your curves for this one. You can make them shallower, you can make them wider, but parallel roads can be connected using the freeform road tool, come off the end, and then connect to that node that you've just created. Boom. Perfect. So now we are going around and we're getting up, and that is our left turn, and that is the first phase of this shape. Let's complete the right turn for this side and see how it looks. Very similar process to last time. We are going to go 7x7 back towards the other highway. You can see this is the same shape as this, just angled, just turned 90 degrees. Which also means we can use our freeform road tool again for that 9x9. This one is going to break off in 2 directions, actually. This one's going to break off 7 units to the right, as well as 9 units to the left. Now here's the trick. I'm going to delete some of the highway because I know it's going to try to snap to that highway, and that will give us the space we need to then break off to the left. So freeform road tool, I'm going to go up to 8 meters, though I don't think that's going to help us later. That's fine. We're only doing this for that 45-degree angle anyway. Nice. So now we can actually delete this one. I'm going to choose to re-add the highway back in, just for visuals. And now we go to the other side of the highway to begin this shape there. You'll see this... The shape is hard to explain until you've seen what it looks like. So same deal, I'm going to start by going 7 units up. 7 units over. We have a lot of consistency on our inner curve here. 7 units down. Nice, we've seen that process before. We're going to delete the straight piece here. We're going to curve this one back in because we need to get our 45 for this side. We need to get our this node right here. Very, very crucial. I'm going to delete the end piece. And what we've done here is essentially the same thing that happened under, except this one's going to go over the top. So I'm going to use move it to match the 8-meter height that I've chosen. That road is probably going to get elevated because it makes sense. Oopsie. Elevate that road for now. And we can connect these directly. Same exact thing. 176.9. All of the measurements are on point. All of the slopes will be fixed later. But you can see this is the lower version of that shape, and then this is the higher overpass version of that same shape. And this part is a bit of a recap of the previous part. If you've done all the previous steps, then you are mechanically sound and can can certainly build this. So these inner pieces are actually going to connect in the same way that this upper piece did. So I'm going to do that same trick where I go 7 units over, and actually I can see that this road is precisely in that position. So this is where it's going to connect. I'm just going to draw a road coming off of there to create that connection, create that node, and then use freeform road tool off the end straight to connect to it. Very nice. Same thing over here. I already know that that this spot is where it's going to connect, so we can make a road off of that to create a node there. Freeform road tool. And complete that connection. The 7x7 is kind of arbitrary. The 7 units over is arbitrary. I just think it looks nice, basically. Now this piece here is a recap of the opposing side. The corners that are diagonal from one another are actually done exactly the same way. So now, with a look from above, you can see that 3 of the sides have their right turns figured out, and this is the final quadrant. This was our starting quadrant. I've just worked my way around counterclockwise. So let's give this a similar treatment. Starting from this node here, we can go back. 7x7 is the magic number for me. And we can follow this around with the freeform road tool. Again, by now you should be you should be sick of hearing that, but it is important. And 7x7 for the right turn, which lines up with our original area beautifully. And then the left turn, remember we can delete the highway just like on the diagonal quadrant. Delete that bit of highway, and then make your 9x9 freeform road tool left turn. I'm going to try to elevate it, and it's not going to work. I could always turn on straight slope. That would help. 8 meters high. That's fine. Now on our original area, we still have this straight road, and what we need is a 7x7 curve to get our angle, to get our 45-degree angle segment. So we're going to go, if I can do it without connecting. Oh, wonderful. Anarchy for the win. Great, so now we've got our 45 figured out. We can delete the pieces that complete the 90. So now we have our 45-degree opposing bit here. We can elevate this. This one, the only way I know how to do it is to manually use move it to get it to 8 meters high to be uniform with the rest of the interchange. And then we can cross the road. 176.9. Gorgeous. I'm going to elevate this a little bit. So let's see, let's take inventory. All that's really left is to connect all of the ends, because none of the ends are connected. And to also redefine some of the slopes. The slopes are quite messy at this point, so I'll have to figure out some cool elevations. But let's do this center highway first. So what if this one... What if we go ahead as far as we can? I'm going to turn off node snapping so it doesn't try to snap to the lower road. But I love these pillars here just across the highway. So we're going to go off the end of this. And that looks great. So right next to this road. Beautiful. And let's see if we can match that on the other side. I think we can fit the road right through the middle. Yeah, absolutely. And it does. There we go. 90 degrees. Perfect. So if you go 9 units from this point, this 45-degree road slips right between the pillars, which is totally beautiful. So this one, we've got 14 units. I'm going to toggle straight slope so that we get a straight slope out of it. Probably going to end up resloping these later. This one can go down to ground as well. Gorgeous. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll connect up the ends. Now, all of the ends are going to connect in the same way. So I'm going to go 7 units down, 7 units away from the curve, and then connect it to the highway at 90 degrees. That'll give us our start and end points, freeform road tool, off the end of the curve, and then connect it to the road. Do the same thing on both sides. And that is how it works. On this side, it should be about the same. Or even in this case, if you haven't built the ends yet, just make them 7 units in length. In real life, these measurements will not always be consistent, but in City Skylines, we're afforded massive luxury in that we can we can do all these things consistently and symmetrically. So there are the connections on the 2 sides. I'm going to take a moment to connect the other 2 sides, and we'll see how it looks. Well, that looks phenomenal. I'm very happy with that, but there are several glaring issues that we have to address. One of them, of course, is lane math. The way that I've decided to do this, you can do this however you'd like on your build. I'm going to reduce the highway down to 1 lane, and I'm going to increase the splitting ramp to 2-lane highway, which makes more sense at the split. So lane math-wise, we're going 3 lanes, split it into 1 plus 2, that's fine. Then this one splits off into 2 lanes, reconnecting to 3, that looks good. The left turn goes around and up. Now this one needs the same treatment, so on the elevated side we can reduce this down to 1 lane. Very nice. And then increase the turn to 2 lanes. And of course it splits here. Same deal over here. It looks like this one needs to go down to 1 lane. And this part can be done however you'd like, but I just want it to function properly. Great. And the same thing on this side. This piece can go down to 1 lane. And the turn can go up to 2. And somehow this one's already fixed. That's really great. Now I'm going to go around and decide how the slope should be. I'm primarily going to be using Network Multi-Tool to do this. I'm also probably going to elevate some pieces. We'll see how it comes out in just a moment. I think the slopes and elevations are looking much nicer already. But I do want to show you real quick how to make a split like this one. I've got other videos that show how to do it, but I figured you're going to be doing it here. You'll notice this split looks really nice and clean. This one looks kind of wonky and strange. The way we fix this is to go to Node Controller and shift-click the smaller roads to align them and shift them to align with this 2-lane highway. So now they're aligned, the left and right lanes. What I'm going to do is reduce it all the way, all of them all the way to 0, and then hit the Make Ends Straight button. From there, we can always take Node Controller and really drive the point home. I have a tutorial about Node Controller as well. Excuse me, intersection marking tool. But very quickly, you can make a refined split that looks nice. I'm actually going to go around and do this on all sides and clean up the appearance of the whole thing. The difference that Node Controller and intersection marking tool can make is staggering. All of these merges and splits are looking very beautiful. They're all nudged with Node Controller, expanded with Node Controller, and then marked with intersection marking tool. Very, very good process there. All this needs is a couple decorations and some traffic, and we're good to go. And here it is, the no-weave Cloverleaf Interchange. It's completely free-flowing, so there's no way that this can back up in City Skylines. I think it could be implemented in the real world, though the number of ramps required and the amount of extra road surface required may not make it cost-effective in most situations, but boy does it look pretty. It's really great. I've actually seen pictures of an interchange in I want to say Nolans, but New Orleans? I'm not really sure. I've never been, but there's this intersection that uses 2 overpasses that look just like this. Beautiful interchange. This is that taken to the extreme where all sides have those 45-degree over and underpasses, and I think that those make the entire project work. But everyone, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the no-weave Cloverleaf interchange. I think it's wonderful. Feel free to come over to Twitch and check out a live stream sometime if you'd like. Certainly subscribe here if you're into the builds, if you like interchanges, intersections, tutorials, city builds, all that kind of good City Skyline stuff. That's what I do. Also, we have a Discord. Feel free to join the community Discord if you want to discuss some stuff. That's all I've got for today. Everyone, thank you for hanging out. I've been Yumble. I'll see you in the next stream or the next video.